Funding Without Debt, a strategic guide to winning small business grants. By avibusinesssolutions.com. If you need funding but do not want to take on more debt, learning how to find small business grants can save you time, cash flow, and a lot of frustration. The catch is that grants are rarely sitting in one easy place waiting for the right owner to claim them. You have to know where they show up, how funders think, and which opportunities are actually worth your time. Grants can be an excellent source of capital for startups, growing companies, local service businesses, and niche operators, but they are also competitive. That means your goal is not just to find grants. Your goal is to find grants that match your business well enough to give you a real shot. How to find small business grants without wasting time. The fastest way to approach grants is to stop treating them like free money and start treating them like targeted funding opportunities. Every grant program has a purpose. Some want to support women-owned businesses. Others focus on veterans' rural businesses, minority founders, green initiatives, research, food businesses, downtown revitalization, or local job creation. If your business does not line up with that mission, the application is usually a dead end. That is why broad searching is only step one. Filtering is what saves time. Start with 5 basic filters: your location, your industry, your ownership profile, your business stage, and the intended use of funds. A restaurant in Texas owned by a woman founder will qualify for a different set of grant opportunities than an e-commerce seller in New York or a trucking company in Georgia. The more specific you get, the better your search results become. Where small business grants actually come from. Most owners start by searching online and quickly run into recycled lists. Those can be useful for ideas, but they are rarely enough on their own. Real grant opportunities usually come from a mix of federal, state, local, nonprofit, and corporate sources. Federal grant programs. Federal grants get the most attention, but many are not designed for the average Main Street business looking for working capital. A lot of them support research, innovation, manufacturing, agriculture, energy, or community development. If you run a specialized company, this can be a strong lane. If you need money for payroll next month, it may not be. Federal programs tend to have more formal requirements, longer timelines, and tighter reporting obligations. The upside is that award amounts can be larger. The trade-off is complexity. State and local grant programs. For many small business owners, state, county, and city programs are the better starting point. These grants are often tied to local economic development, storefront improvement, workforce hiring, disaster recovery, tourism, neighborhood investment, or minority business support. They also tend to be less visible, which can mean less competition. Check your state economic development office, local chamber of commerce, city business office, and county small business department. Community development organizations can also surface grants that never make it onto national roundups. Corporate and private grants. Large companies, foundations, and business support organizations often run grant contests or application-based awards. These may target early-stage founders, underserved business owners, product innovation, community impact, or local entrepreneurship. Some are marketing-driven and highly competitive. Others are more practical and mission-focused. Read past winner profiles if available. They usually tell you exactly what the sponsor values. How to search smarter. If you want to know how to find small business grants efficiently, your search terms matter. Generic searches bring generic results. Instead of searching only for small business grants, stack your keywords with qualifiers. Search by ownership category such as women-owned small business grants, veteran-owned business grants, or minority small business grants. Search by geography such as Florida small business grants or Chicago business grants. Search by industry such as restaurant grants, trucking grants, beauty salon grants, or construction business grants. You can also search by purpose, including equipment grants, sustainability grants, export grants, or hiring incentives. This targeted approach usually produces fewer results, but better ones. That is a win. It also helps to build a simple tracking sheet. Include the grant name, deadline, eligibility rules, award amount, required documents, and application status. Most owners lose momentum because they find opportunities in random bursts and then forget where they saw them. What grant funders look for. Grant programs may sound different on the surface, but many evaluate the same core factors. They want to know whether your business is legitimate, whether your use of funds makes sense, and whether the award is likely to produce a measurable outcome. That outcome could be new jobs, revenue growth, equipment upgrades, neighborhood impact, environmental improvement, or support for an underserved group. If your application does not clearly connect the funding to results, it becomes easy to ignore. Funders also look for readiness. If you cannot provide current financials, formation documents, a basic business plan, or a clear budget, your application can fall apart even if you are eligible. The businesses that win grants are not always the most impressive on paper. They are often the most prepared. Build your grant package before you apply. A strong grant search moves faster when your core documents are already organized. At minimum, have your EIN, formation paperwork, ownership information, business license if required, tax returns, bank statements, profit and loss statement, and a short business overview ready. You should also have a clean answer to one question: what will this money do for your business? Be specific. Buying kitchen equipment that increases production capacity by 20% is stronger than saying you want to grow. Launching a new service van to add 2 routes is stronger than saying you need support. Clear use cases create confidence. A short narrative helps too. Explain what your business does, who you serve, what problem you solve, and why funding now will create a practical result. Keep it direct. Grant reviewers read many vague applications. Why do many owners miss good grant opportunities? One common mistake is chasing only national grants with big headlines. Those are popular, but they are not always the most accessible. A smaller local grant with fewer applicants can be more valuable than a major national award with thousands of submissions. Another mistake is applying too late. Many owners find a grant a few days before the deadline and rush through it. That usually leads to weak answers and missing documents. Grants reward preparation more than speed. There's also the issue of fit. Some businesses apply for everything because the money looks attractive. That burns time fast. If the eligibility is shaky or your business does not align with the program's mission, move on. Grants are great, but they are not always enough. This is where business owners need a practical mindset. Grants can help with startup costs, equipment, special projects, marketing, hiring, or local expansion. But they usually do not arrive quickly, and they are not built for every urgent need. If your challenge is immediate working capital, inventory, emergency repairs, payroll pressure, or bridging receivables, waiting on grants alone can slow down growth. In that case, grants may be one part of your funding plan, not the whole plan. That is why smart operators look at timing, not just cost. Free capital is attractive, but slow capital has limits. Depending on your situation, it can make sense to pursue grants while also exploring faster funding options for short-term business needs. A practical grant strategy for small business owners. The strongest approach is simple. Identify the grant types that match your business. Focus first on local and niche opportunities. Prepare your core documents in advance. Apply only where your fit is clear. Then repeat the process consistently rather than treating grants as a one-time search. If you set aside even 1 hour a week for grant research and application prep, you will make more progress than owners who search hard for one weekend and quit. Grant funding is often a volume and fit game. A solid business with a clear story, organized paperwork, and disciplined follow-up has a real advantage. For owners already juggling cash flow, operations, and growth, the process can feel like one more task on a long list. Keep it focused. Look for the grants you are most likely to win, not every grant that exists. If you need a broader funding strategy as you pursue opportunities, solutions providers like AVI Business Solutions can help small businesses evaluate capital options with speed and practicality in mind.